Denise or Tahira, I'd love to hear from one of you on what your plan is the next 90 days. Is this good, by the way? We're making this very informal and open so we can really get to know each situation. Landon talks to so many people in marketing. He can speak to anyone about anything. I think Tahira unmuted.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon. My goal within the next 3 months is to make some money. I have a full-time job, and I want to eventually transition out of my full-time job teaching. I love my students, but I need to make some moves. And I had a slow start one year, the first year selling life insurance. And this year I'm getting in gear with adding Medicare to my business. So that's my goal is like to focus on life insurance and Medicare over the next 3 months.
Okay, that's awesome. First off, kudos to you. That's a huge jump and a step of faith. And I'm not necessarily the insurance, guy. That's Cody. I'm the marketer. But one of the things that I have the pleasure to do is meet with a lot of insurance agents that are sort of in that sort of stage of like, am I going to try to like jump and take the step of faith and et cetera? And I would challenge you. One of the things that I've been thinking about and the message that I really feel resonates with me and others is that, I'm sure that you have some income sort of benchmarks that you're trying to hit, and you're trying to get to a certain amount of income to then feel comfortable enough to replace what you currently have going. And that's a fantastic goal. And I'm not saying that's the wrong way to look at it, but I want to challenge you to look at it not just as replacing your income and using insurance as income. I want you to challenge yourself to think you are now an entrepreneur. You are now starting a business. You are now getting ready to take that step of faith into entrepreneurship, which is hard to do. So I want to just challenge you to say, this isn't just about replacing your income so that you're comfortable with whatever income you're able to replace from the teacher salary or whatever, and now replace with insurance. What you're doing now is way bigger than this. You're building a business. You're building something that not just is going to be able to replace the income if you can take it serious and go all in and do what it takes to door knock on the weekends and call in the evenings, whatever that is. But not only are you going to be able to replace income if you keep going down this road, you're building something of equity that you own that is worth a lot of money. You're going to be doing life and health and Medicare. And I think you said Medicare and life. Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're doing Medicare and life. You're nodding your head yes, correct?
Yes. Yep. Medicare and life. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me explain one of the things that I've heard that is really like incredible about the Medicare business specifically is there's what's called a 606 evaluation of our books of business in the Medicare space. Does anyone nod your head if you know what that is? Does anyone know what a 606 evaluation? Okay, let me educate on this, okay? There's a term called Ebitda, E-B-I-D-A, which is earnings before, earning before, whatever, Google it. It's earnings before amortization, expense, interest, whatever. What it really means is it's the amount of cash that gets kicked out of your business on a yearly basis. So your Ebitda, if you make $100,000 of profit, your Ebitda is $100,000. Whenever you sell your Medicare block of business, typically you can get 2.5 to 3 times that Ebitda. Now, with insurance, what's happening is private equity is coming into our space so quickly right now. They are throwing money and they're giving what's called a 606 evaluation of your Medicare block of business. What that means is that if you make $100,000 in your first year of business, your Ebitda is $100,000, but your 606 evaluation is taking that $100,000, re-adding in all your renewals for the next 6 years and getting a multiple of that actual number that you're kicking out that year one. So what that means is that you're not only getting a 3x, whatever you're making that if you ever sell your block of business, you're getting 6 times that 3x, which ends up being like a 12 or 14 times your actual revenue that you're cashing out. So the reason I bring this up is because you are not just trying to replace your income. If that's what you think you're doing, you're thinking about it in a short-sighted manner. Not to call you out, I'm not trying to be negative or anything. I'm just saying that replacing your income is one of the things that you're doing. But if you can start a business and become an entrepreneur and replace your income year one, you now are not just replacing your income, you own a large equity stake in a company that you can sell. And if you wanted to sell that business, you could sell that in 5 minutes. Like if you came to me and said, hey, I've got 500 Medicare clients, I could find a buyer for that in one phone call. That's how much in demand Medicare blocks and these blocks of business in the insurance space is. So like, I just want to challenge you guys to, on the marketing side, the reason I think marketing is so important to this whole picture and why I'm even bringing this up and why I'm the guy that's talking about this is that one of the things that you got to do to scale your company is you got to understand how to market. You got to understand how to spend money to grow your block of business. So it's not just about creating an opportunity for yourself to replace some income. It's about, even if you can spend some money to invest in your business, even if let's just say a cost per acquisition number, let's just say you're spending $400 to acquire a customer. Well, if you rent, depending on what type of insurance that you sell, that $400 on year one could be tight in the Medicare space. You might even lose money on it year one. But what you're doing is you're acquiring this customer base. So if you're able to spend money and grow your overall block of business, not only are you able to cross-sell that as you're able to move, that block of business becomes extremely valuable whenever you get to the point of exit. Now, y'all might not want to be focused on exiting, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we want to get in the insurance to try and flip this thing in 4 to 5 years. However, if you decide that you want to get into something else and you own your block of business and you've invested $10,000 into marketing and gotten $10,000 of premium from that, a lot of people on this call would look at that as like a failure. I broke even. That wasn't worth it. That wasn't worth my money. That was a failed marketing attempt. And I'm here to tell you that is the furthest from the truth, because if you spend 10 grand to get 10 grand, you've increased your block of business, you've increased what you own. And what the big dogs are doing, at the guys that are at the high level, I know people that are spending $500, $600, $700 per acquisition on a Medicare contract just to increase their overall block of business as they start to build this thing, because they're planning for a 5-6 year exit for a 7-8 X whatever they're pulling down in a specific year. Does that sort of make sense, Cody, or did I just go off on a random tangent that maybe wasn't relevant?
Makes sense.
I hope not.
He's a genius.
I'm not a
right?
genius.
That's all we learned. He's a genius, right?
That's not what
Yes, thank you.
I just want to challenge you to not just think of it as another job using insurance to support your income. That's not what you're building. You're building a business, and there's going to take blood, sweat, and tears, but you're going to own it. And you're going to be able to then control your own destiny. And you're going to, even if you fail, you can always get another job doing whatever you want to do to replace your income. This is bigger than that. This is much bigger than creating income. Even if you take a $20,000 pay cut year one, it is so worth it to own your own business and go down your own path and create your own destiny. Me and Cody, I guarantee you offered me and him both. And this, I will say this with a straight face looking at the camera. You could offer me $1 million a year to work for you, and we would both tell you, go fly a kite. There's no freaking way. I'll make way less than that.
Or 10 million.
Yeah, or 10 million to just be my own boss and be in control of my own destiny. Like, I don't need someone to pay me or tell me what I'm worth. I'm gonna go create that myself.
Yeah.
And so insurance has a path to success, but I can tell you right now that marketing is one of those pillars. Between marketing and mentorship, those are the two things that I think are most important to be able to get to that point. Because you can't scale with referrals and word of mouth. You cannot. You can only go as many word of mouth and referrals that you get. You should always be getting positive word of mouth. You should always be getting referrals. But what happens if you have 10 customers giving you word of mouth, referrals as opposed to one, right? So marketing is always something that you're going to need to understand as you want to scale this thing, as you want to start thinking about this like a business.
You actually brought up a really good point that I'm curious, okay? And don't overthink this. Put your honest opinion in chat. If you made $500 the first year off of a policy, doesn't matter what it is, okay? How much would you spend to acquire that $500? And I want you to put your answer in chat. It's not a trick question. Put your honest opinion. I don't care if you say $1. It doesn't matter to me, right?
You said 2 to 1. So
$250 is what Scott's saying, okay? Aiden's saying $400. Julian's saying $400. Tara's saying $25. You can see the discrepancy here, right? Myra says $200. Okay, that's probably pretty smart. Theo $200. Jeffrey $32 for $500. Okay. David $200. Okay, I'm proving a point here with this. Okay, Christian $300. Bonnie $250. Karen $300. Who'd we miss? Who else? Double $1,000. So you would spend $1,000 for $500.
Is that what you mean? You would spend $1,000 for $500, or do you mean you would spend
$500 because it's Medicare?
To make $1,000.
Tahira $499. There we go. Okay, who else? Okay, and the life people are going to give a different answer than the Medicare people, by the way. Okay, which is okay, and it makes sense. But why am I asking that?
I know exactly what you're asking. Yeah, it's because you're about to.
Christina $75.
You're about to challenge some people. Okay, so here's the deal. Christina, now this is love, right? We're all careful. We're all
totally
love each other.
Totally.
So we can't get any
Christina's
feelings.
already part of the family.
We can't get any feelings that are hurt right now, okay?
Never.
Christina,
these are rising stars with no emotions.
Christina, $75. Bonnie $250, David $200, Jeffrey $32. Okay, no offense, guys, but you guys are going to be the ones that say marketing doesn't work. I've tried all the things.
Well, you can't scale $32.
Yeah,
Jeffrey, I love you.
Yeah, marketing. You're going to say marketing doesn't work. I'm not able, because that right there is what is that? Would that be almost 12 to 1 return on investment, Jeffrey, to spend $32 to get 500, right?
It'd be more than that.
Okay, that ain't happening, dude. Nobody's gonna. There's no marketing spend that you're going to be able to actually get 12 to 1 consistently. Now, does that not mean like Pete Fournier, is he coming on sometime soon?
In the next month, he'll be on this, yes.
Remember this, Pete Fournier has a way to get 17 to 1 return on investment. Make sure when he's on that, say, hey, Landon said that I could get 17 to 1 ROI with your system, and he'll tell you how to do it.
Well, that's the system Jeffrey needs because he's about 17 to 1, okay?
Now, that takes some grit and some sweat equity, okay? But I can tell you right now, if I go to any of the big dogs right now and I say, look, I will set your cost per acquisition at $275, that means that for year 1 of a Medicare deal, I will give you 1 Medicare policy of Advantage, let's say Med Advantage, for $275. Yep. I would get people to spend $100,000 a day with me at that number, okay? With any of the big guys, okay? Because if they could guarantee and lock in their cost per acquisition, they would do so. So what I guess, if I was to answer that question, all right?
Yeah.
If I was to answer that question, I would say, how much would I spend to make $500? I would spend $500 to make $500. I don't care about making money. You know why? Because I am going to earn a customer. I'm going to then have an experience with that customer. I'm going to then ask potential referrals. I'm going to then serve that customer. And what we do also is you should be able to cross-sell these individuals. I know a lot of people that just with Medicare, you can also cross-sell hospital indemnity, you can cross-sell cancer, you can cross-sell final expense. You should be asking a fact find in the beginning to really be able to understand that there might be some 401k money you could roll over and start getting into annuities. Aiden, I know you're going to shake my head on annuities, bro, to where using Medicare as an actual entry point. So let me ask you this, Aiden. If I was to tell you, how much would you spend on a Medicare sale if you knew they might have some money tucked away for an annuity? How much would you spend on that sale?
All of it.
Yeah, it could go up to 1,000 if that's the case, because you have the lifetime of the Medicare too. So it's
okay, but here's the real question. Here's the real question. How many times have you spent $1,000 to acquire 1 Medicare customer?
Not there yet, but I haven't done that.
Okay, no, but if that was legit and you could really find money and really make thousands of dollars from annuities, so I'm going to throw a random curveball at you guys. Okay, I'm going to put something in chat. It may not make any sense, but just bear with me for a second. Okay, it's a math equation. Let's just say that you're going to get $3,997 in total revenue. You're going to pay $400 to a sales rep. Okay. This is the Rising Stars Mastermind, by the way. Okay. This is what I sell it for. That's what I paid Derek to sell it. But also, let's just say that that's what you get paid off an annuity, $4,000 on average for an annuity. We could relate this to insurance all day. And then Aiden has an LOA or a sales rep that gets paid $400 for booking that appointment, right? We can make it up. Doesn't matter. How much would you spend in ads to acquire that customer? Let's try this again. Okay. Now you can't. I mean, your break even is $3,600, right? $3,597 is the break even. That doesn't account for the fact that you may pay the person a salary or a base or other expenses. I'm just saying, what would you spend? I know for me, we are getting people to fill out the Rising Stars Mastermind application right now from YouTube. I'm giving you a business lesson right now for $37 a piece. Okay. So I'm sharing this because you have to know your numbers like this, right? So like, could Derek sell, if Derek sells 1 in 20, or let's just say Derek's booking appointments for Aiden to sell annuities and Derek books 20 appointments and Aiden closes 1 for $4,000. But the appointment costs $37. 20 appointments, $740, $400 to Derek in commission, $1,140 divided by $39.97. That's still a 71.5% profit margin, which we would take all day, by the way. That's huge, right? So you got to think about your business this way. Okay. So did everybody catch what I just did, or did I lose some people? Okay. Okay. If I did lose you, please step up. If you love this video, you know I got another one that you're going to love. I got a video just to your right here. Click on that. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. And I'll see you in there. All right. I'm curious if you're the same way. Okay. I've got insurance agents from all over the planet reaching out saying, dude, we need help in 5 different areas. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you right now.